Hey, it's Sevyn, and you know I got soul.
All right, Sevyn. So, people, they know you from your time with the group RichGirl. You've been writing, but I want to know kind of how did you get your break originally as an artist? How'd you get into industry originally?
Well, the way that I started singing, I grew up singing in church, and all my life is, mommy, I want to sing, daddy, I want to sing. So I did a lot of talent shows, and just anywhere there was a stage, I would go and sing. So around the age of 15, it just picked up and got more and more serious. I met more people, and my parents just found more and more outlets, and that's kind of how I began singing. Yeah.
Okay. So, when you were with RichGirl, for a few years, you guys, unfortunately didn't have an album officially, but you had some leaked songs. You kind of built a fan base from that. Do you kind of wish things had worked out differently, or do you think it wasn't meant to be?
You know what? I think you always have a plan for your life, but you can't control it. And in terms of RichGirl, I loved my group, and everybody who knows me know that I loved my group. And at the end of the day, me and the girls, we grew up singing. We found each other. We were singing together, and we all still support each other to this day. Right. So, they're going to continue singing. I'm going to continue singing. And yes, we wanted things to be differently. We wanted them to work out, but you can't control the cards sometimes.
Right. So, after things kind of didn't work out there, how did your next opportunity come about? Because I know you started getting into some writing, linked up with Chris Brown. How did that come next?
Well, the way that I met Chris, we had the same manager. Tina Davis managed RichGirl, and then she also managed Chris Brown. And funny story, I remember one day we were working across the hall from Chris, and I was like, hey, if you're writing, can I come write? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to come get you. So I didn't think that he would come and get me, but he was like, hey, so we're about to go and write. Sevyn, come write. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So that first night, I think we wrote a record called Smile and Wave, me, him, and Kevin McCall, and that's just how our writing and our professional relationship began. So right. Just been writing and working ever since.
Talk about how you originally developed as a writer yourself, and kind of your process and how you were ready for when that moment with Chris came about. You were ready to seize that opportunity.
Well, the way that I developed my writing is you just keep writing. Like you can't, you have to get all of your ideas out. And I grew up thinking that way. My parents kind of just encouraged that in me. And then once I started working with Chris, I learned that every song you write, you're not going to love every record. You just got to get that idea out. So I think that the way that it was developed and the way that, my writing was developed is by, you just can't stop writing.
Right.
You got to keep on writing. So that's just kind of how it worked out
Cool.
for me.
And now here you are at Atlantic Records. You just recently signed your deal here.
Yeah.
At what point did you go from just, doing that writing to being a solo artist again?
Well, writing, I've been writing with Chris and Kevin for 3 years, and a lot of the times when you're, the only female in the room and there's a female record that you're working on, you end up demoing that record. So, over the span of 3 years, we looked up and we were like, hey, like, you got a lot of records. Maybe it's time to, kind of see what we can do with that. And that's exactly what happened. We picked the records that we loved and we shopped and, met a lot of great labels, but just something about Atlantic, it felt just natural, and I'm in love with everybody here and everybody at the label, and I'm in pretty good company, Bruno Mars and Trey Songz and B.O.B., I love Atlantic, so I couldn't be at a better place for me.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
And now you've got this great single, I Like It, and I was telling you, we're big fans of the single.
Thank you.
Been playing it on repeat.
Thanks.
So just talk about, how the song came together, how you created the song.
Well, the way that I Like It came about, it's funny, I tell the story, I was in my car dropping my parents off at the airport, and I just heard this song in my head, heard this melody, and I called my friend Harmony. I was like, hey Harmony, I got this idea. He's the producer of the record. I was like, I got this idea, for this record, and I hummed it for him over the phone, and he was like, yeah, Seb, just come in, or in his voice, yeah, Seb, just come in and he's from Europe. Yeah. So we went in, we worked on it, and I was like, I hear these chords, I hear these drums. He was like, okay, and I hear this and I hear that. We threw it all in the pot, and that's how you got I Like It. So it was really organic the way that song came about. It wasn't really forced at all. Just kind of fell in my lap a little bit.
Cool. Nice work on that song. Love that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now you're also working on the album, so, you know, how's that coming along and what can we expect on there?
The album is actually coming along really, really well. I've worked with John Baptiste so far, the Runners, you know, Harmony, the Interns, just a lot of great producers, a lot of great writers, you know, your Courtneys and your Eric Bellingers, and it's just been really, really, really great. I can't ask for anything more. It's still new. It's the beginning. So, you know, we're just having fun and we're experimenting and just trying things.
Right.
But so far, really, really good. I'm really, really happy with it.
And, you know, a lot of people know your sound from as part of the group. You know, you've got the single out, which is, you know,
Right.
some R&B pop sound. What's overall the sound of the album going to be like?
Well, overall, the sound of the album, it'll most likely just be urban because, you know, I'm as a writer, I love to experiment with pop music, alternative music, different types of music, but me and Sevyn, to the core of Sevyn, is just urban and R&B. I love urban music, love R&B music. So on the album, you're definitely gonna feel that. Like, you're definitely gonna have that. You know, you may have, you know, influences from other genres, but for the most part, the core of the album is R&B and urban.
Cool. You know, like I mentioned to you while you were with RichGirl, you kind of built up a following. You had fans who were, you know, following you throughout your time there.
Right.
Have you found that since you left the group they've stuck with you, or has it been like kind of a challenge to reintroduce yourself as an artist solo now?
You know what? The fans who are really, really true RichGirl fans, I think that they loved us honestly and genuinely. So they still support me, and I know that they still support the other girls as well, but they're very supportive. Like, we talk on Twitter all the time. They,
Right.
you know, they tell me we're rooting for you, and they're just really, really excited about this whole process, and they've been really, really supportive, and
That's
I
great.
appreciate that.
Cool. And just finally to wrap up, you know, a song I mentioned to you that you wrote, you know, before we were talking was the new song on Brandy's album, Slower.
Yes.
Big fan of the song. You
Thank
co-wrote
you.
it with Chris.
Yes.
Just talk about how that song was created and working with Brandy and all that.
Working with Brandy, I was starstruck, and I don't know if she knows it, but working with Brandy, when she walked in, I had to keep my composure. I tried to keep my composure, but working with her was great. You know, she came in, you know, me and Chris, we went in, we did our normal process, melodies and ideas, and, you know, she left for a minute and she came back, and to, you know, watch her listen to something that he and I created, it's Brandy.
Yeah.
Like, I love Brandy. Like, so it was just nice, and the way that it came about, it was magical. It was really, really magical, and I'm just happy that she loves the record, and she bodied the record,
Yeah.
like, killed the record. So it was
Very
a great
cool.
experience, really great experience.
I like that song a lot. Good song.
Thank you.
So that's all we had for you. Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I just I want to be able to keep in contact with my fans. So, you know, I want my Twitter, for those who don't know, my Twitter is @Sevyn, SEVYN. And, you know, my website is sevynstreeter.com. And just hit me up. Instagram is the number 7EV. So just talk. I just want to talk and have conversations and know what they want to hear. Because, you know, ultimately it's about what they want to hear. I want to write records that they can relate to. I want to give them the soundtrack of their lives. I want to write records for the fans. So I just want to talk to them. So talk to me, hit me up, let me know what you like.